Well guys, I am extremely happy to say the haunted house is back. For those of you who are not aware, the haunted house is one of the most coveted, amazing Halloween inflatables of all time. Sold, well, the first one was sold at Sam's Club in 2007. It was just gray and it had with a black roof, and it had a Reaper outside holding a lantern that had a blinking C7 in it. Then there's the 2008 version that I'm not too sure where it was sold. I think that's actually the one with the there's the 2008 version, and then there's the 2010 version. One has two gargoyles outside and on either side of the entranceway, and the other one has a tombstone with a ghost coming in and out of it with an animation mechanism. So there's those three, as well as a 2009 extremely rare version that was sold exclusively at Spirit Halloween, in stores and online, I believe. But that version is just it's pretty much its own design. But other than that, they marketed this one as a haunted house. It's the 2017 one that was sold at Lowe's. It's a tunnel. They market it as a haunted house. It's not a haunted house. It's a tunnel. It's always been a tunnel, in my opinion, and it's never been really appealing to me. It's just a really kid-friendly, stupid design. But it did have a sound box, and that's a key point of that and why it was so popular, because I think it was only like 210, right? I don't know. Someone let me know. I don't remember what price the 2017 one was, but this came out of nowhere. If you guys remember, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that about a month ago, I came across this list of new inflatables that were going to a bunch of different stores and everything, and I shared that with everyone, and on the list there was a haunted house, and everyone was saying, no, the haunted house is not coming back, there's no way, it's not coming back, no one, there's no way they're gonna make a new haunted house. Well, here it is right in front of me. This is the new for 2022 12-foot inflatable haunted house, sold exclusively at Sam's Club this year for $240, which, I mean, this is incredible. I mean, for collectors, personally, I mean, it's been a lifelong dream for a lot of us to eventually have a haunted house. But some of us were lucky enough to already have one of the haunted houses, the original haunted houses. Like, I know William's Airborne Inflatable channel, he has the 2007 version, and then Jake, Holiday Inflatable Fanatic, he has a few haunted houses, and then Chase the Inflatable God, he has the 2009 version, as well as I think another haunted house, I don't know. But yeah, a bunch of them who are originals, they got the haunted house back then, or at least they bought it a while ago. But a bunch of us other ones who were not really collecting back then, they couldn't, we couldn't get the haunted house, and now we've been waiting very patiently for the past few years for them to eventually release a new haunted house, and it was seeming like that was never going to happen. But here we are, 2022, out of nowhere, big announcement, Sam's Club is dropping this new haunted house, and everyone, I mean, I'm personally really, really excited to see that this is actually in front of me right now. I'm just astonished that I actually have a haunted house right in front of me right now. So I am very, very happy and excited to review this. I'm going to go over everything in this video here. So let's start off with the box design. So as you can see, this does have its own box design that I don't think we've ever seen any inflatable ever have this other background now. This is a new background with that house behind it, and I mean, that gravel leaves, whatever it's sitting on, that's a completely new box design. If you can see right there, that is the Sam's Club kind of Halloween emblem. You know how like how Lowe's has holiday living, and then there's holiday time at Walmart and Home Accents Holiday at Home Depot. That's kind of Sam's Club's deal. Members Mark, Halloween, and then later Christmas. But again, this is sold exclusively at Sam's Club this year, and I believe, yes, there was the original haunted house that was sold at Sam's Club. And in about 2007. There's details on the bottom there on what it comes with. It comes with a projector and the microlights, this new technology that they introduced, I believe, last year, maybe 2020. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box. Back of the box is pretty much the exact same as the front of the box, but it has the Sam's Club information tag right there, as well as, yeah, it's distributed by Sam's West Incorporated. There you go. There's the section that it's in, the seasonal decor. This is the first time since, I mean, maybe the very early 2010s, but I know for sure this is like mid to late 2000s, they have ever had actual kids or just anyone modeling on the front with the inflatable. But I mean, to demonstrate that you can walk in and out of this, they had to have models, these kids. So that's interesting to see that that's back. This, of course, since this is such a huge box, by the way, that there are no tabs. And there have been a few other ones in the past that are like that. But there's no tabs, there's no lid. Well, there is a lid, but there's no, like, full-on box where you can close it. This just cuts open and it instantly just, there's just the folds. But this is such a huge box. I wish you guys, I mean, I really recommend you go and see this for yourself in person. This is a massive box. Pretty much the same thing on all four sides, as well as the lid. It's definitely a long box, not really, a square like most inflatable boxes, but yeah, there you go. And there's also the QR codes up there. And for those of you who are not aware of how Sam's Club works, I believe they do offer a free trial if you want to go buy this, just, a one-time purchase. But Sam's Club is about like $40-45 for one person, one card, a year-long membership. So I guess that's a good deal if you want to buy a bunch of other stuff too for the next year. But I don't know, when I went there to pick this up, there were a bunch of people there. It's definitely crowded, and so a lot of people like Sam's Club because they offer deals, but BJ's will always be better as the better wholesale club. But I mean, I don't know what BJ's is getting this year as far as Halloween inflatables go, but I mean, so far Sam's Club with just one inflatable has the lead in the wholesale club, in the wholesale club competition for Halloween. But this is just wow. I mean, I believe the last Halloween inflatable to be sold at Sam's Club was the Floating Reaper from 2017, and that just really wasn't much. So now all of a sudden they have a new haunted house. This is breaking news, really. I mean, no one was really anticipating this. I kind of forgot about the haunted house that was on the list that I saw about a month ago. But all of a sudden, here it is. It's in Sam's Club, a big shocker. But there's the box design for you. I mean, it's a really interesting box. It's huge. It has its own box design. I like it. Definitely, better than just going with a standard airborne inflatable box design. But that wraps up the box design. Let's go and get to the unboxing. So this is another way to demonstrate how big this box is. This thing that I have all my, when I do the reviews, I have the inflatable sitting on. Usually the box just takes up just maybe even less than the area of the thing I have it sitting on. But this takes up all of it and more. This is a huge box. And then, as I was talking about earlier, this of course does not have the tabs. This is just like I was talking about all the way around. Very well taped though, I have to give them that, because they usually, if you're expecting Jemmy, they just put 1, 2, and then they're done. But this is taped all the way around, and I like that. There we go. White tab, white fold on the inside. Bigger bag, obviously, because it's such a massive inflatable. It doesn't, need the standard inflatable bag. here is the stakes. To be honest, I'm not surprised that it didn't come with colossal stakes because it doesn't really need them. But it does come with 4 curly stakes, which is good. I believe 6. That's looking more like 6 tethers, or just a longer version of the tethers. 4 base stakes and 4 metal pins to pin down the blower. It has its own set of instructions, not just the standard airborne inflatable instructions. These are the Members Mark Sam's Club instructions that come with most Halloween stuff sold there. And of course, just like every other base fan this year, has the new cord that they introduced, the new cord model that they introduced last year. And first notable thing right out of the gate, no colossal fabric. This is just standard fabric, but obviously I cannot judge it right now. I'm obviously you have to see it inflated to judge if it needs colossal fabric or not. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the inflation. Well guys, here it is inflated. The first thing I'd like to mention here is that it is very flimsy, and I'm getting straight to that because this is the key aspect of it. Like one of the very few cons about this is that it is very, very flimsy. The roof right there, as you can see, the roof can't even stabilize itself, and all the zippers are closed. That's another thing. Straight out of the box, there's about 6 zippers, 5 or 6 zippers. They were all unzipped. So you have to go on like a scavenger hunt trying to find all the zippers to zip it back up. But I mean, the tower right there inflates pretty good, but I mean, since everything else is like these thin tubes, it's very hard for them to stay inflated. There is tinsel right on the pumpkin right there and on the spider. There's blinking C7s in the 2 torches. There's short circuit. There's everything. I can't wait to show you guys this at night. But first impression, not so good that it cannot inflate very well at all. This has a YEF 200 and only 1. That is very disappointing. Everyone thought that it was going to have 2 fans and it was going to be inflating super well. I mean, the details are really great. I love the details on it. I love everything they packed into this. Has microlights again. I didn't think I mentioned that. It has microlights. It has blinking C7s, has short circuit, it has tinsel, it has everything. But I mean, it all doesn't really matter if you have to put your own fan into it and spend extra money. But yeah, I do think I am definitely going to be putting a second fan into this. That's actually pretty disappointing that it doesn't inflate too well. Well, now that we've seen it during the day, let's go ahead and get the night view. This looks absolutely phenomenal at night. I mean, everything working together all at once, the short circuit, the standard C7s, the blinking C7s, everything, the micro lights, this all just looks incredible at night. That projector in the inside shines through the outside, and it looks really great. The tinsel pumpkin at the front lights up really, really well, which I figured that out. Most tinsel inflatables just glow, just in general. Like the 2016 tinsel Santa that was sold at Home, that just glows at night too. This, I'd say, the one complaint I'd say at night is that I wish that the middle portion of the inflatable would light up a lot more, rather than just the archway in the front and the tower in the back. But this does look really, really great at night. And I think it'll look amazing in a collection, meaning with a bunch of other stuff in the display. So that's why I'm so excited to see this guy in the display this year, because this is just wow. This is definitely a night inflatable more than a day inflatable because of all the stuff that they have packed into it. The skeleton's eyes are lighting up great. Everything's just working all great, and I really, really love it. So now that we've taken a good look at it, let's go ahead and rate it. So the first category is design, and I'm gonna give this guy an 8 out of 10. And I give it an 8 out of 10 and not like a 9 or a 10 is because this is not perfect. It's not a perfect design, but it's better than just copy and paste, which is usually what Jummy does. Definitely creativity. It's definitely creative, as, I mean, short circuit. It has micro lights. It has blinking C7s. It has regular C7s. It has tinsel. It has everything. Except for a sound box. It has a projector. But again, circling back to that sound box, I really wish this guy would have a sound box. I think it would be a lot better if it had a sound box, but it's fine. You know, I'm not going to start tearing up over how it doesn't have a sound box, especially since you can add one yourself. And I will later give an update to that, because I do plan on modifying this one. But design, definitely an 8 or a 9 out of 10. Quality, again, I'd say about a 7 or an 8 out of 10. It's not the best they could do, but it's definitely, you know, so taking that design and executing it into an actual, you know, and turning it into an actual inflatable that is sold in stores. How they did that, I mean, I definitely wish that this would have another YEF 200 that would inflate perfect and just make this overall better. It does have 6 zippers, which is not common whatsoever, so I'm glad that it does have 6. Projector's pretty cool. I think that projector is actually like a last minute add-on, but definitely pretty cool. Pretty much everything that was there from the prototype, I'm thinking, all made it to the actual inflatable except for the sound box, which I don't know. I mean, it's iffy depending on if it would have a sound box and if it would be better or if it would be a better seller if it had a sound box. Definitely think that this is definitely going to be #1 hit seller at Sam's Club. I think it's going to outdo BJ's this year. We don't know what BJ's is getting though. So I definitely think that this is a win for Sam's Club for sure. Especially after coming from the last 4 or 5 years since the last Halloween inflatable. Oh yeah, and here's a perfect demonstration of how it does in the wind. If it would have another fan, it would do perfect. It's not going anywhere. I'm not, concerned that it's gonna blow away. It's just so weak. It inflates so weak it cannot stand up on its own. And I'm glad I'm the first person to really mention this. That I know is because everyone's all talking about how amazing and perfect it is, but no one's actually bringing up how it does as an actual decoration. And it's not very durable right now, but it will be once I add another fan into it. So I'll give an update to that. But definitely quality could be a lot better, but I mean, for the direction that Jemmy's going in, this is definitely a good one to definitely, just it's a breath of fresh air to see something like this come back. And just put a smile on your face to see that we get to see another haunted house. So definitely you can't really say bad stuff about that. But the last category is price. And price, I'm going to give this a 9 out of 10. Because why I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because it could be better. I'm thinking, back in the good old days of Jemmy when, inflatables themselves weren't trying to be all jacked up and stuff. This would be $200. $200, $199.99, and that would be a great price to pay. Retail, meaning like if any other store would get this, they would probably sell it for $300, $299.99. But because it's Sam's Club and because it's a wholesale club, they lowered it down to $240, which is definitely a great price to pay. I'm glad that's the price instead of $300. Like Oogie Boogie, the 14-foot Oogie Boogie is $300 this year, and that has nothing except for, except for like 5 C7s on a light strand. This has tinsel, projector, short circuit, everything. And I'm very glad that this eventually made it to store shelves. But so design definitely design is pretty cool. Quality could be better, but it could be worse too. And price again, I'm very happy with the price that they set this to, but again, it could be $200, and that would be making it even perfect, but especially since it doesn't have a sound box. But definitely pretty cool one. I'm excited to see this one on my display. And actually I had to work this into the display last minute because the plans, I just basically came up with an outline of how I want the display to basically be laid out. And I found a perfect spot for this, and I can't wait to see it in the display. This year is definitely going to be amazing, and I'm very glad that I got this one. Well, that's my review on this new for 2022 haunted house inflatable that is being sold at Sam's Club this year. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on this. Be sure to tell me in the comments. I'd actually, that's not just some YouTuber, bullcrap talk, but I actually want to hear people's thoughts on these inflatables to give a better perspective on it. So please post your comments. If you have a video, post it. I'd like to see more on how you modify this and how everything, because I will be again giving you guys an update on how I ended up modifying mine to add. Eventually I plan on adding, a second fan, a sound box, maybe some more lights and everything. So definitely going to be pretty cool. But until then, I'm the Inflatable Bastard. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.